Welcome back to the Common Constitutionalist Weekly Podcast, and I am the Common Constitutionalist, coming to you with a couple of topics today. And the first is Trump and his New York Times meeting. Can everybody just take a breath? Stay calm, just chill out. He hasn't taken office, it's still a couple months away, and already people are beating him over the head about his changing rhetoric. Well, he can say anything he likes. Let's just see if his actions match his words and what words they're going to match, shall we? Also, there has been a huge surge in illegal alien crossings over our southern border. I wonder why that is. Could it be that the Trumpster is going to be inaugurated in January and illegals want to get here quick, thinking that maybe he'll change his mind and let him stay? Could be. I don't know. All I know is that there's been a huge surge in October, and there must be some explanation. Today, on the Common Constitutionalist.
You're listening to the Common Constitutionalist, broadcast from an undisclosed location, free from the prying eyes of establishment blackmail Congress.
All right, first off, I want to start by saying that I am neither a Trump apologist, I'm not a Trumpster, nor am I a never Trumper guy. So that being said, I want to go through, well, I don't want to go through the New York Times nonsense, that meeting he had with the New York Times, the CNN commentators, the Fox people, the everything, you get one side or the other. Well, the one side, the Fox News, the Tucker Carlson, the Sean Hannitys and whatnot, they're going to defend Trump to the death no matter what he does, no matter what he says. On the other side, the Never Trumpers and the Democrats are going to condemn him for the first slip up he makes, for the first thing he says that's not politically correct, or that they think they can, some sort of gotcha statement. We want to start with, I said I wanted to start with, as far as Trump goes, on a clean slate. So he gets, I'm just going to say, like, how gymnastics, they score it on a negative point system, where you start off and you have, say, a routine with a difficulty of 15 or 16 or whatever it happens to be, if I recall my Olympic gymnastics. And then, that's your perfect score is 16, shall we say, or 15 or whatever the heck it happens to be. And then every time you screw up, you get a deduction, a tenth of a point, a half a point deduction if you fall off or you do something stupid. And that's what I'm going to use going forward with Trump. Trump has a 100% clean slate with me. So I don't care. And again, on the Republican side, the Democrat side, the Trump side, whatever side you're on, it's now a clean slate, kind of. For Trump, it is an absolute clean slate because he's a blank page. He's a wild card. We have no idea that his actions are going to meet any of his words. Whether you're a Trump guy, whether you're not a Trump guy, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows, and I don't even know if Trump knows at this point. He may be playing us all for a bunch of chumps. I have no idea. But that's all these things are right now. These are just words. He hasn't even been inaugurated yet. And already everybody's jumping down his chili, so to speak, at the fact that he's saying this, and then he's contradicted himself that, and he's backing off on immigration, he's backing off on this, and he's asserting himself on this, and it's all just a bunch of crap. He could be as contradictory as he wants to be. He hasn't even taken office yet. So it doesn't matter what he says, it matters what he does. And unfortunately, in this particular case, because we have no history of legislation with him, or of rulemaking, or, executive orders, or whatever it happens to be, we've got nothing on him. So the fact that the New York Times can claim that he said this, and then Rush or somebody can claim that no, he didn't say that he was backing off on immigration, or that he was doing this, or that he was doing that. I don't care what he says. It doesn't matter what he says right now. It's what he's going to do. And in that particular case, we have no choice but to wait. It's not like we can do anything about it, despite the fact that Jill Stein and Hillary Clinton, well, I don't know, Hillary's up to this thing, but I'm sure she'd love it. If there was a manual recount and whatnot, it's not going to make a hill of beans worth of difference. Trump is our president-elect. That's the way it's going to be. Whoever doesn't like it, that's too bad. He's going to be the president, and that's that. And we don't know, nor does the left know, or does Tucker Carlson know. Nobody knows whether he's going to prosecute Hillary. He's not going to prosecute Hillary. He doesn't have the power to prosecute Hillary. Whether he's going to set up a grand jury, whether he's going to set up a special prosecutor, the way he said in one of those debates. And then now if you read the transcripts or hear his voice, maybe he's backing off, maybe he isn't, maybe it's a head fake. Who the heck knows? Nobody knows. And so we could conjecture about this crap all day long. Now, I would like to say that everybody gets a clean slate, but everybody doesn't get a clean slate. Republicans, Paul Ryan, doesn't get a clean slate. Mitch McConnell sure as crap doesn't get a clean slate, and certainly the Democrats don't get a clean slate. The only wild card, the only one that we don't know what his actions are going to be in regards to his words, whether they're going to match or not, is Trump. He's the only one. Everyone else has a legislative history. Everyone else has a political decision-making history. Mitch McConnell, certainly. Paul Ryan, for sure. The Democrats, absolutely. So if you want to judge somebody, we could judge very easily what the Republicans under Mitch McConnell's Senate leadership is going to look like and the decisions that are going to be made. That's an easy call, okay? What the Democrats are going to do, that's an even easier call, frankly, because unlike Mitch McConnell, which he'll put his finger up in the air and he'll decide whichever way the wind is blowing, and that's the way he's going to come down on, because all he cares about is his own power and his own influence. That's it. I don't think he has any personal set agenda. He's not an ideologue. He's just a dirtbag politician. Democrats the same way. You could predict almost with 100% accuracy what they're going to end up doing. They're going to fight Trump on every single one of his proposals, regardless of whether they agree with him or not. It's because if it's Trump, it's wrong, and if it's anti-Trump, it's right. It doesn't make any difference what it is. That's what they're going to do. It's set in stone. And again, the only one we don't know is Trump. That's it. We have no idea what he's going to do. He can say anything he likes. If his actions don't meet his words, it doesn't make any difference what he says. And we've underestimated this guy from day one. Everyone has. Me, you guys, whoever has underestimated Trump from day one. Now, we can also, people are conjecturing, the never Trumpers and the Democrats are all saying, well, look at his cabinet selections, look at his picks for this and look at his picks for that. That will tell you a lot about him. Not necessarily. These guys are there to do the president's bidding. Whether they agree or not, they can choose to disagree, and they will still institute his policy recommendations or resign or be fired. That's the way it's going to work. So we don't know. We don't know if Bannon, I'm not a Bannon guy for sure. No way, no how. But I don't know how he's going to react. I don't know if he's going to toe the line for Trump or whether Trump's going to toe his line. We have no idea. So for everybody to sit here and yammer about that, oh no, Trump's already backing off his immigration stance. Oh no, Trump's not going to appoint a special prosecutor to look into Hillary's malfeasance that we all know. Or Trump's going to go off his list and appoint some, liberal hack like his sister to the Supreme Court. He's going to nominate her or something. Nobody knows. It's all academic. It's ridiculous to even speculate on this crap. That's my biggest beef about this whole thing, is that everybody's just looking to make headlines by saying, oh no, well, Trump was hard on immigration and now he's not. And Trump said he was going to prosecute Hillary and now he's not. Well, there is no now he's not. There is no now he's not until he actually doesn't do something, until he exclaims that this is what the policy is going to be. It's opposite of what I said in the campaign, and this is the way we're going to go now. Okay, then, to me, he gets a strike against him. That's 16 points, he gets a half a point. Or the 100%, he gets 10% off for the decision that brought him to the election and won him the election. He's gone against. Now he gets points off. Until that time, he's got a clean slate for me, 100%. It's a wait-and-see game because that's the only choice we have. That's the only choice we've got. So how about we just stop the armchair quarterbacking? I would like to say Monday morning quarterbacking, but it's not even Monday morning. It's like the Tuesday before Sunday's game at this point. We're nowhere even close. We don't have any idea what he's going to do. So how about we just all sit back, take a breath. How about we report on something else? There's lots of other stuff going on out in the world, and just leave this alone until there's something to be said about it that's concrete. I know that's not going to happen, but hey, dare to dream. Let's take a break.
You're listening to The Common Constitutionalist. Let the truth be known.
Okay, welcome back. Now, I had half a dozen topics to talk about. I wasn't even sure what I was going to talk about today. I knew I wanted to go through that whole New York Times Trump nonsense. What a load of crap that is. I'm not going to rehash that again. I just did. But I've decided that I want to keep this thing short. I didn't even write an article for Saturday because I wanted to spend some downtime with my kids. We still have a tree to go out and a scout for. We're going to cut it down next weekend and put it up. And what we do is we don't go to tree farms and we don't do this. We will hike out sometimes a mile or two into the woods, find a tree, tag it, and then come back the following weekend or 2 weeks later or whatever, hike back out there, cut it down, and yours truly, the common constitutionalist, invariably has the unenviable task of hauling that bad boy out of the woods. But hey, you know what? It's a great time. I would recommend it as a family outing. It's a great deal. And my kids are older now, and they still love doing this. We've been doing it for years. I can't remember the last time we bought a tree, and it's just an awesome time. Recommended for anybody. But because of that, we're going to cut this a little bit shorter. So I've got another topic I want to discuss. This comes from my buddy Incoco, who is the editor-in-chief of the Constitution.com, iPatriot.com. He's a big deal, Liberty Alliance. I write for a few other their sites, and he's a good guy, smart guy, and he also writes pretty well too. And he reports that the number of illegal aliens continuing to surge across our southern border is threatening to swamp our immigration enforcement capabilities. What a shocker. MRC, which is Brent Bozell's Media Research Center, reports that in October alone, now dig this, in October alone, almost 50,000 illegal aliens were caught sneaking into the U.S., and that doesn't even account. That's just the ones that were caught. So that leads us to think, gee, I wonder how many thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of these weren't caught. So how many are here now? You know, the interesting thing is, if I may digress, which I do seems weekly, that number, 11 million illegal aliens, it never gets any smaller, it never gets any larger. For a decade or more, it's been 11 million. You believe that? Me either. If we've got 50,000 illegals in 1 month that were caught, and that, again, it doesn't account for the ones that weren't, that made it through just fine, and might be living next door to you, who knows, on the government's dime, I might add. Why does that number never change? It's always 11 million. Everybody says it's 11 million. It ain't 11 million. It's a pant load more than 11 million, folks. I can guarantee you that. In October alone, Customs and Border Patrol, the CBP, apprehended 46,197 illegal aliens crossing the United States unlawfully via the southwest U.S. border, including 13,124 members of family units and another 6,754 unaccompanied children. They added that, in fact, the number of family unit members apprehended in this first month of fiscal year 2017 is already 118% higher than those who were caught in October of last year. Want to put it in more stunning terms? Well, Onan did a darn good job of doing that. Averaged out, Border Patrol caught about 1,490 illegal aliens per day, every stinking day. And again, that's 1,490 a day that were caught. There could be another 1,490 a day that weren't caught. And they are currently housing 41,000 illegal aliens in detention centers that are supposed to accommodate about 31 to 34,000 people. And the problem has gotten so bad, apparently, that U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Agency, they're being forced to open a new facility in Texas on our taxpayer dime to house all these doggone people. And here's a quote here from the CBP. In addition to securing our borders, they're doing a bang-up job of that, aren't they? No fault of them. No fault of them. They're doing yeoman's work down there, man. I certainly wouldn't. I couldn't do it. There's no way I'd do it. In addition to securing our borders and enforcing our immigration laws, CBP is committed to treating all people in our facility humanely, says the El Paso Field Office Director Hector Mancha. And the CBP went on to exclaim that they also asked the media to deliver a message to immigrants seeking to come to the U.S. Don't. That's a good one. Our message, this is another quote from, this is a different quote from another El Paso dude. Our message to people thinking about crossing our borders illegally remains. Don't risk your lives, said El Paso Sector Chief Jeffrey Self. Smugglers are not your friends. Don't put your lives in their hands. Well, whether they put their lives in their hands or whether they get hurt trying, an awful lot of them seem to make it to the United States, don't they? So whatever the smugglers are doing, they're doing a bang-up job of it, aren't they? Now, why do you think this is happening now, shall we say? Why do you think that all of a sudden there's a 118% increase in illegal immigration crossings just for the month of October? That 1,490 people a day are being caught, which means another 1,000 or more probably are not being caught. Why is that, I wonder? Could it be that the Trumpster is our president-elect? I wonder that if Hillary was elected, there would just be the steady stream, that there wouldn't be a bump in activity. And I guarantee you that's probably what it is. Everybody wants to make it here, thinking that maybe Trump is softening his immigration stance and that once you're here, you'll be allowed to stay. I sure as crap hope that's not the case, but that remains to be seen. Now, whether we're going to see a drop-off after January when Trump is inaugurated, I don't know. I guess it depends on what his actions are going to be. Like I said in the last segment, he can say anything he likes until we actually see some action, a decision that's made that's going to be actionable, then who knows? But at this point, it is absolutely an untenable situation. I feel so bad for the people living in these border towns in Texas and Arizona and whatnot. And, well, California, you know what? The heck with you. Just wall you off, and you guys can take everybody for all I care. I don't feel sorry for California because it seems like virtually everybody in that state welcomes them. But for people in Texas and Arizona and whatnot that don't want this, the farmers that are losing cattle and losing their own lives, they're finding illegal immigrants on their property and their houses. It's a ridiculous situation that shouldn't be. So hopefully that after Trump is inaugurated, there'll be a slide in the amount of people trying to come across, and maybe Trump will actually keep his word and start deporting people. Now, once that starts, we know this from I Like Ike from Eisenhower. And again, I am so tired of hearing this sad refrain of, what are you going to do, deport 11 million people? No, you're going to do exactly what Eisenhower did. You're going to start deporting people, and then they're going to see that you're serious because you're going to lead by example, and then they're going to get up and they're going to walk home of their own accord rather than be forced to leave. And that's what should happen. I don't know that it is going to happen, but that's certainly what should happen. And if Trump decides that that's what's going to happen, I hope the heck that he's got the Congress and the Senate's full backing. At least the Republicans. Obviously, the Democrats are going to go bananas over this. The press is just going to be apoplectic. But too bad. C'est la vie. So we'll see what happens. But maybe they'll run out of people down there. Maybe they'll just run out of people to send over that don't actually want to come to the United States. I don't know. Maybe that's possible. If we keep the borders open long enough, they'll just run out of people and there won't be anybody coming back. I don't know. But I don't know. I guess that's all I've got. I feel really bad for the agents down there that actually want to do a good job and they want to uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws that are already on the books. But, hey, what are you going to do? God bless them for what they do. So I think that's all I've got. We're going to wrap it up here. This is a Common Constitutionalist signing off. Y'all have a good balance of the weekend. I hope everybody had a blessed Thanksgiving. And that's it. I am out. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Common Constitutionalist Weekly Podcast.